Oh.
Okay. What's up, y'all? How many times you wanted to make carnitas, but you go on the internet and they want you to spend 6 hours making carnitas? I got away. Came from this here cookbook. I'll make them in 2 hours. So, most importantly for your carnitas, you need your pork butt. Pork shoulder, they call it pork butt, straight up, I swear to God. These are from my homies over at South Shore Meat Shop, Nice Cut of Meat. What we're gonna do is cube it up. That's kind of the secret how you cook it so fast is we cut it up. If you cook it whole, it's gonna cook a long ass time, but we'll cut it up into like 1-inch cubes and then we'll come back. Alright, so yeah, you just chop that shit up. Cube it up.
With clean hands.
Clean those hands, please, peeps. They gotta be clean. But yeah, it could take a while, so we'll come back. But alright, action. Next step, you need a pan, a big pan, a large pan, flat bottom, important. Flat bottom, consistent heat, even cooking. Flat bottom, folks. Put this thing in a single layer. That's another thing about consistent cooking and shit. You want a single layer of your meat down in the pan. Alright. I'm gonna wash that because the other side is where I prepare my non-meat ingredients. So we need to wash it before we use it. But, you know, basically there you go. There's your meat down in your pan. Alright, so this book gave me the technique for cooking, but not necessarily the recipe, so I'm going to set it aside. Its recipe was like straight up lime and salt and water, which is, I'm sure that shit tastes good, but I put a lot more stuff into it. Check it out. First things we're going to put into it is the lime. I'm going to start by having 2 limes. Using our squeezer, just squeeze the lime juice into the pan like that. These are kind of big limes, so straight up, if you got smaller limes, maybe use 3 of them. I wouldn't hesitate to do it because look at me, I'm not hesitating to use all this lime juice. That was loud, but lime juice doesn't hurt carnitas because it's acidic, and this is a tough muscle that we're cooking right now, y'all. Imagine your shoulder. How much do you use your shoulder? A fucking pig uses it a lot more. So it's tough. You gotta cook it. That's why fools cook it for so fucking long. But we don't want to cook it for long right now. We want to cook it relatively short. Next ingredient is called a shallot. It's like an onion, but it's not technically an onion. And if you'd rather use an onion, girl, by all means use an onion. I don't fucking care. Like I said, this isn't the recipe that the book gave me, and I just went off the top of my head. We're gonna have it. Just toss that shit in there. Fuck it. Next ingredient is garlic. Get it out of its crusty ass shell. And just toss them in there. I toss like 4, maybe? I don't know. They're kind of a pain in the ass to get out. I'm probably only gonna toss 2. Because I don't feel like doing
We have
this
a
anymore.
lot of garlic though. We might as well use more.
Word. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna
They
use
only
more.
sold the giant garlic pack.
We're gonna use 4. They're kind of little, but I'm not that much of a garlic fiend. I know a lot of fools are. But it is important. Alright, word. There's 4. So, 4 chunks of shallot, 4 chunks of garlic. Ooh, what's this over here, y'all? That's a jalapeno. I'm just gonna chop, 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 chop. 4 chunks of holly. Fuck it. We gonna be spicy. Alright. We got our meats in the pan. We got our non-meats in the pan. Now we need to season this motherfucker up. This right here is cumin. Cumin's bomb. It's really good in like guacamole and shit. You don't want to use too much of it, just a little bit of it. Salt. Hook it up with salt. Because again, tough meat, hook that shit up with salt. Fuck, come on. I was always taught to cook with a lot of pepper. So I do. And then chili powder because mama didn't raise no bitch. Okay? So we put some chili powder in here too. That was the fucking weirdest thing I've ever said. But it's true. My mom likes shit spicy. So, then the cookbook, their water is where I'm putting in Coors Light because, I mean, I like Coors Light. So you fill it up. That was my drinking beer. I actually had an ingredient beer over here. You want the liquid to cover the meat so that it cooks it all. You know what I mean? So I'm basically there.
You're not gonna put any water?
No, I'm not gonna put any water. Fuck it. Alright. So there you go. Now you move this over to your stovetop. You're gonna turn that on to a high setting, okay? And leave it uncovered. Make sure everything's sunk in the liquid. Leave it uncovered until that motherfucker starts to boil. And then I'll pick it up. It's been like 15 minutes. Our shit is boiling, as you can see. It's smelling real good. All those seasonings and vegetables have really filled our kitchen with really nice aromas. The next step is to cover it. If your cover fits perfectly, that's dope. Mine doesn't, so that'll do. And we're gonna reduce the heat to a simmer. And I want you to simmer that for 1 hour. Okay, so it's been an hour. I'm gonna take the lid off this shit. And that's what it looks like. I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Trev, the carnitas I have are shredded and crispy and not covered in liquid. I know, fool. So what we're gonna do, turn up the heat. Cook out the liquid while we give these little motherfuckers a smush and a spread. Do the same thing to your garlic. Just kind of squish it. That will be cooked enough to be made into like a nice little like puree paste. That'll get cooked down into your meat. Mix up your jalapeno and your shallot into there. Just basically, you know, mix that shit up over the high heat and cook all that Coors Light out of there. And then when the liquid is cooked out, the pan will cook the meat and make it nice and crispy on the outside like I know y'all want it. Alright, so we've put this on high heat. It's been on high heat for like 15 minutes. I've been stirring it basically consistently just to shred it all up and make sure none of it gets extra burnt or crispy until the end, because the crispiness is going to come in when all that Coors Light or whatever liquid you want to use is cooked out. Also, you can see all your vegetables, all that jalapeno and shallot and garlic has been basically just cooked down into a paste that is getting mixed in with everything, just adding the flavor so you don't have any surprise chunks of jalapeno in there to burn you. Okay, so basically all the liquid has been cooked out at this point. And what we're going to want to do is start getting it crispy. So get a nice little even layer going at the bottom of your pan. And I know it's going to kill you to do it, but just let it go for a second. Let it kind of char. That's a nice way to say burn, but we don't want it to burn. We want it to just char on the bottom. So I'd say a good like 20-30 seconds. Grab your handy dandy Coors Light and take a slam of it. Now that's gonna cook out the liquid real quick and give you a nice little bit of crust on your meat. And this stir is gonna make that liquid evaporate even faster, so this next rest is gonna put even more crust on your meat. You don't want to leave it too long because your char can turn to a burn mad quick, and that's not what the fuck you want. You want your shit crispy, like a nice like almost yellow crispy. You don't want it black or brown because that's just not, as Alton Brown would say, good eats. Alright, so this is really starting to get your brown, crispy sort of texture already. You can see sort of on those lower, the ends touching when they get flipped, but they're starting to get crusted. So you're going to want to keep constant motion on it when it gets to this point because you don't want it to get burned. You do not want to burn your carnitas. Everyone will know you tried to cook them quick and didn't slow cook them, and they'll be bummed. You want everyone to be like, wow, you cooked these for like 10 hours, huh? And you'll be like, hell no, fool, I'm not a chump. But anyways, so there you go. All the liquid is cooked out. We got enough charred ends mixed in there to make it a satisfying bite. And that's basically how you do it. And we're gonna cover that. We got some beans going. We're gonna get some tortillas, make some burritos right now. So there you have it, folks. Delicious burrito here. I hope you liked that recipe. If you did, great. If you didn't, don't say anything. But anyways, have a nice day.